I'm moving. I made a few mistakes, but I'm improving. I'm human, but I've been making daily resolutions. I got to. You might do it different, but I'm not you.
Hey, Mark.
I'm self-made. I'm
Hey, Mark.
doing things that
Mark.
I was never taught.
Hey, Mark.
Hey, Mark.
Hey, what's up? Welcome to another episode of Hey Mark, the podcast where I, Mark, have open, honest, and authentic conversations about the struggles that we go through, some of my perspectives on the struggles that I've been through, in hopes that, you know, it opens up avenues and kind of takes away the stigma around just having conversations about the things that, you know, are struggles for us, the adversities that we go through and how they help shape us as the people that we are today. And so I guess what my message truly is that no matter what you are going through, you are not alone. And so jumping into the topic of today's episode, it is going to be a bit of a shorter episode because this sort of topic, I guess, speaks for itself. But I will give you a little bit of a warning right now. This is something that, you know, might ruffle a little bit of feathers. This might get under some people's skin. And the people that need to hear this message the most are probably going to be the people that get offended by this episode. So this kind of came to my attention because I was looking at, obviously, social media where this conversation was happening, and someone was asking for help in regards to growing their business. And I noticed that a lot of people were commenting on there, you know, trying to help this person out. And every single comment that, you know, someone was taking the time out of their day to try and help this guy out with his business, every comment that he had gotten, he starts listing all these reasons why, you know, their advice wouldn't help for him or how it wouldn't help his specific situation. And it kind of got me thinking about this idea that, you know, this is something that I used to struggle with as well quite a lot growing up. And that is, if you want help from people, you kind of have to be receptive to their help. And don't ask for help if you're going to be defensive about what they're going to try and help you with. And so in regards to mental health, I struggled a lot going to, you know, see my family doctor and the first couple specialists that I spoke to about my depression and anxiety because I was very reluctant to try and listen to their advice. I thought that, you know, my situation was very isolated. I didn't think that anyone really could understand what I was going through or why I was feeling the way I was feeling. And I basically wrote off anybody that was willing to help me, you know, from, you know, my loved ones, my friends, my family members, but also doctors and specialists and counselors. I basically shook them all off, assuming that they wouldn't be able to help me out. And so I was out there asking for help, and then I would get defensive and not listen to the help. And basically I had to have this conversation with myself one day, sitting there thinking about, you know, why my situation wasn't getting any better, what could possibly make my life better, you know, how could I start to feel better? And I started to think, you know, you've had this problem for quite a while now. Perhaps if you knew the answer, you wouldn't have this problem anymore. Or maybe if your decisions were the right decisions all the time, perhaps you wouldn't be in this situation. Maybe it's time to surrender a little bit of that ego that's telling you that you always have to come up with the right decision and that your belief system is the best belief system. Maybe it's time to surrender that part of your ego. If you're struggling with something and you're looking for help with it, then you gotta have to sit that ego aside for a second and start to listen to the people around you. Now, obviously, if your life is perfect, if you're happy, if you're successful, then you don't always have to start to drop your belief systems. In fact, if you're happy and you're, you know, seeing success or what you view as success, I'd recommend don't drop your belief system and continue doing what you're doing. But if you're actively looking for help, if you're actively looking for guidance or assistance, you're struggling and you need out, and you're looking for help, then that is not the time to be defensive. That is not the time to stick to your guns. That is not the time to write people off that are willing to help you out, that are eager to help you out, that want to see you get better as well. The problems that you're struggling with, the problems that you're dealing with, the struggles that your life has thrown your way are not individual struggles. And, you know, chances are there's been someone at some point in history or even right now that's gone through the same thing or a very similar situation. And there's a lot of information out there and a lot of people that are willing to help. but you won't be able to receive help. You won't be able to receive guidance or any assistance whatsoever, not even a helping hand, unless you're willing to be coached, unless you're willing to be helped. And that means you have to admit that you don't have the answer. At the end of the day, if you had the answer, you wouldn't have the problem. Unless you have the answer and you just don't have the discipline or the accountability to follow through with executing on that action, but that's another story for another time. What I'm talking about is when you're in a situation where you're willing to put in the work, you just don't know which way to go, you don't know what to do or what steps might get you to where you want to go. And if you find yourself in that situation, you know, maybe it's best to just admit that you might not have those answers set up and it is time to listen to somebody else. I feel like that's pretty much it. There's not really, you know, much more I can say about this topic without beating a dead horse, but I guess the idea I'm trying to put across is if you're looking for guidance, if you're looking for help, you can't really be defensive about it. You have to be able to take criticism, you know, and see how it might be able to guide you in the right direction or help you out or correct your actions a little bit. And then, hey, if you start finding success in some way, or if you change your belief system and it's making you happier or more successful, then stick to that. You know, stick to whatever works for you, whatever makes you truly happy and whatever makes you truly successful in the way that you view happiness and success. Again, I feel like this episode wasn't probably the most entertaining episode, so thank you guys for sitting through that little rant, but I feel like maybe someone out there might need to hear this the same way I needed to hear it earlier on in my life, and I hope that this gets the message across. Now go out and be the best you can be today, tomorrow, this whole week, this whole month, and this whole year of 2021. And then carry that on for the rest of your life. Be the best you, spread love, spread positivity, and thank you so much for your support. Go out and get it. Let's go, baby.